Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's write some more Leetcode today. Today we are solving check if one string swap can make strings equal. So the problem states that we are given two strings, S1 and S2, of equal length. A string swap is an operation where you choose two indices in a string and swap the characters at these indices. And we return true if it is possible to make both strings equal by performing at most one string swap on exactly one of the strings. So we can either perform no string swap or one string swap, and otherwise we return false. So if we look at example 1, we can swap K and B, and they can be the equal string, so return true. Example 2, we cannot do it in one swap, so return false. And example 3, they are already equal, so we do 0 string swaps and return true. So how can we solve this problem? One way that we can solve this problem is we can look at each element in these two strings, and for each element we compare them. If they are different, then we add 1 to difference, and as soon as difference surpass the number 2, then we can return false. And each time we see a difference in characters, we should add the two characters as an array of the two characters to swap, and in the end we will compare the two different characters that we can see in swap and see if they are equal. I'll go over how we can exactly do that when we go over this example, but for now just know that if they are equal, then we return true, otherwise we return false. And if the difference is not 2, then we need to make sure that the difference is 0. If it's 0, return true. If not, then we return false. So let's go over this example. We see that B and K are different, so we add this as an array. So B from S1 and K from S2. And also we need to increment the difference by 1. And then now we look at A and A, they are equal, so move on. N and N, they're equal, so move on. K and B are different, so we add them. Increment the difference by to 2. So since difference is 2, we need to check if these are equal. So basically check if this index is equal to this index and if this is equal to this index. And they are equal, so for this example, we will return true. So for this example, we'll return true, but hypothetically, let's say the strings are E and D, then we will increment to 3, and then as soon as difference is greater than 2, we already return false. So the time complexity of this approach would be O of n, where n is the number of characters in the strings, because we'll have to look through each character in the string. And the space complexity would be O of 1. It would be constant because the length of swap will never go over 2, and we're not using any other extra spaces. So now let's get to the coding part. So first we set the difference to 0, and then we would set up the swap. So initially it's an empty array. Now we write the for loop for I in range length of S1 or S2, doesn't matter which you choose. And we want to check if S1 and string 2, the characters in the string, if they're equal or not. If they're not equal, we increase the difference by 1. And if the difference is greater than 2, then we return false. Return false. If not, then we can add them to the array. So swap.append S1 of I and S2 of I. And finally, in the end, we check if difference is equal to 2. If it is, then we check if these values are equal. So swap at 0, 0 is equal to swap at 1, 1. 1, 1. And then we'll check if swap at 0, 1 is equal to swap at 1, 0, if they're equal or not. If they're equal, we return true. If they're not, then we return false. And finally, we can check if the difference is equal to 0 or not. If it's equal to 0, return true. If not, then it's false. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay, perfect. I hope this was helpful. Thank you all for watching. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. And I hope to see you all again soon.